From getting rescued and deciding not to go home, or treating your friend like a Snickers bar and trying to satisfy your appetite, it's just another day in the wacky wilderness world of the Yellowjackets. What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another one. And this one is Yellowjackets Season 3, Episode 8 review. I will go over everything in the episode. I will tell you exactly what I think is going to happen, give you my theories. Make sure you subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. 500 is the like goal. We almost got there, as close as you can get without hitting it last time. Let's see if we can really make this happen. This time we will break things down by storyline instead of going directly through the episode. Let's start with Shauna right off the bat. The episode picks up with a dream sequence of Shauna talking to Jackie, and not only haven't we seen Jackie in a while, Jackie is back with a better hairstyle, looking good for herself out here for a woman who's actually dead, but it is them inside of a supermarket, and Shauna is the cashier. Now, as the scene goes on, we see that it is only them inside of this supermarket. Nobody else is inside of it. It is just these two ladies sitting there. Not only are they inside of the supermarket, it seems that Jackie has a bunch of body parts that she's trying to get scanned out. And it's just not regular body parts. We're talking there's some fingers in there, there's a couple of feet in there, there's some pieces of the ass in there, there's everything all packaged up and nice and everything else in there. But while they are there and she is talking to her, telling her that, hey, your life turned cocky, it's not really good, you ain't did good for yourself after all these years. This is all you ever became, just someone working in the supermarket. You look up and they show us a light and what appears to be some types of moths inside of this light. And while they are looking at the moths, it only starts out as a couple in the beginning and then transitions to be a whole lot more moths. And when it's sitting there, Jackie tells her that they're attracted to the lights. Moth, particularly in spiritual and symbolic context, represents transformation, resurrection, and the allure of the unseen, often associated with darkness and the subconscious. And I think what they're trying to go for here is resurrection and allure of the unseen as we go on to this episode. After this, we see Shauna in the shot that we seen her in last episode, sitting inside the car, unsheathing her Rambo knife and heading out into this Hannah woman's daughter's house. Now, how she just was able to find her and all that, I guess Google does work that way, but she goes in there and the door just happens to be open for her. No locks in this town, no fear of safety or anything like that. They just living a comfortable life here, and Shauna breaks her way inside of this house. Doesn't really have to break because the door is open, but she goes inside the house, and while she's inside the house, she notices that this is a very nice house. It's got pictures of kids on the wall, just a nice, cozy, happy family going on here. But while she's there, she does hear some people inside the house that didn't happen to be in the front room where she was at. So she decides that she's going to make a break for it and go inside of the closet that just happens to have slits so she can see out at there. And while she is there, she does see Hannah's daughter, Hannah's grandchild on top of that, and Hannah's daughter's wife is there. And lo and behold, this wife just happens to have a backwards hat. Like, people just don't give up on things. Sometimes you got to stop wearing oversized journeys and do-rags, right? But nope, she still rocks the same exact hat that she had on before. And even though she's going by an assumed name, we learned that Hilary Swank is playing Melissa. Now, this is something that I told you was going to happen. If you're a fan of this channel, then you know that this is not shocking. This is what it was going to be. This is what I told you it was. The twist of her marrying Hannah's daughter, nothing I seen coming. They got me on that one, but this being Melissa, I think that was obvious, and there we go. After both pulling knives on each other, they do get down to brass tacks and start having the conversation. One of the conversations that they have at this time is about the DAT tape. And if you are a fan of this channel, once again, the exact reason I told you that they would have that DAT tape is that she said that when she was with Hannah, Hannah gave her the tape and told her to give it to her daughter. And she said that she could not bring herself to give it to her daughter because why would she want her to hear what she heard on that tape? But in doing so, she became enamored with her daughter and eventually fell in love with her daughter. And now they're married. And also she said that she changed her name. Not only did she change her name, because she was afraid that people would find her or find out everything that happened to her, so she faked her own death. So Shauna and everybody else truly did think that she was dead. That was not just Shauna knowing she wasn't dead or anything. They all thought that she was dead. Again, this goes back to the moths that they showed in the grocery store with Jackie, and also ties into something in the wilderness, but we'll get into that later. So as they are having the conversation and it starts to get a little bit calm and they go through everything, Melissa tells her straight up, I'm living a nice, boring, quiet life. I go to church. I do all good things. I love her. I love our daughter. I'm just trying to live. And Shauna checks and says, yo, this ain't normal. This is not normal what you're doing, after killing somebody's mother. And they make that point saying that she killed the mother. How are you living with her daughter after killing her mother? Now, we don't know exactly who does kill Hannah. We know Hannah's going to die, but we don't know exactly who did it. But she's saying that she, specifically Melissa, killed her, or is she saying that we all killed her together? But she did say you. So I think, as I said before in another video, that Shauna's going to force Melissa to kill Hannah, and that's what's going to really drive the biggest wedge in between them when this is all said and done. But as they're sitting there and everything, she does confront Melissa about everything that has happened to her. And as Melissa says, in all honesty, she has plausible deniability of everything. She seemed not to know anything about Lottie or even know that Lottie died, even though she knew everything else that was going on in these ladies' lives the whole time. She seems not to know that Lottie had passed away. She talked about the brakes. The brakes could have been just because the car was old. Getting stuck inside the freezer. Freezer's door do close because they're made to close because they're holding frozen things in there. So all that stuff is plausible deniability that she may not have done what Shauna thinks she did. And this all could be in Shauna's head 100%. But there is something else going on there. After this, we see Shauna say that she does not care about her and her life or anything, and the only way to actually be safe is to be the last one. And this is when they get into a fight. We start seeing the wilderness come at her, Shauna, when she's starting to beat her up, and then she decides to take a bite out of her and tell her that she has to eat her own skin. If not, and she doesn't eat her own skin, then she's going to tell her wife everything about her. Now, I don't know how much her wife would believe her. And, after seeing you assault her wife, I don't know how that's going to fly with a piece of her wife's skin in there. Say, hey, crazy lady, I'm supposed to believe you. But it does put doubt in the life that she's living. Back at Camp Wilderness for Girls, we start off with Mitzi looking for her glasses and also find them, which is very important that she does find them because she is the one who finds the clue, because we see Travis was gonna take off, right? Basically with his own, him and his shorty are gonna take off with this guy and try to get rescued. Now, we learn right here that they are 6 days from civilization, about 6 days to where they can get picked up, let's just say. And that's not that close. That's a pretty far hike if you go 6 days. Hiking in the wilderness, you would say that's usually about 10 miles people do a day. If you're all good and you can just go, you can usually hike about 10 miles. So 6 days, could be an average of 60 miles. So 60 miles is not close at all. They are pretty far out there. So it does make sense why nobody would be able to find them when they're 60 miles from civilization. Back at camp, we see exactly what was going on in the trailer where they are questioning Hannah, trying to figure out everything that's going on in the world. If people are still looking for them, and to their chagrin, no one is looking for them. It's been a long time, and it seems like they were about to take all this anger out on Hannah. Like, Hannah didn't tell them to stop looking for you. You girls are over here doing crazy stuff. Why are you mad at her? But when they do make the plan to go home and leave, everyone starts fantasizing about what they're going to do when they exactly get home. We got Slurpees, we got some toilet paper. I mean, when you have to fantasize about toilet paper by, I guess, wiping your butt with a leaf for over a year, you would fantasize about a little cottonelle on that booty hole. And after that, dance just being inside of a bed, a plush bed. I mean, geez, this is what I would fantasize about. But again, things never go these girls' way, because when we see Nat and she goes out there and she goes to grab some stuff from the plane, here we go with this supernatural stuff again. I just can't buy the supernatural stuff. But that's what she comes across, and she says specifically, whatever you are, you're going to have to stay here. This is what leads to all the images of the dead animals, and now all of a sudden Lottie decides that she can't leave because there's no way she can just go home, and it has to be Shauna who agrees with her that they should stay. And when they're saying, listen, we're leaving, you can stay, it's Shauna specifically who says, no, y'all ain't going nowhere. Now, I don't understand how she has this power. They got all the guns, they got the arrows, Shauna's just standing there. Why would they stay? And why would Shauna want to stay? She was having a little difficulty with her girlfriend, Melissa, who said she doesn't like her anymore, basically. Even when in modern times, she said, are you still in love with me? Melissa was like, I never was in love with you. That was never the case at all, Shauna. So how she has this power over this group is beyond me. I really don't get it. I don't see how they should stay. They should just leave her ass. But again, I don't think things will go right with them. 6-day hike out there with Kodiak. They're going to have to fall asleep at some point. None of them, I don't think the shift stuff is going to work. And he can easily overpower one of them. And if he did overpower one of them and put a knife to one of their necks, would they sacrifice their friend dying in order to capture this guy? I don't think they got the balls to do that. So I think that, it just wasn't going to work. And obviously we knew this wasn't going to work because we have to get the pit girl scene and they can't get rescued until the snow falls. So we knew they weren't leaving, but how they play this out is going to be a little bit important in the end. Tell me what you think in the comment section of how you think this is going to go. Last but not least is the hospital scene with Van. Interesting enough, we didn't get any shots of Van in this episode, but we did get shots of Mitzi and Ty. Basically, it's what we thought. There is the evil Ty in there, and there is the regular Ty. Now, it's what we have to determine is in this woman's body at this particular time while she's at the hospital, because she does go there and try to do the attempt of smothering her, but she doesn't go through with it, and the man does die anyway on his own, which she then says, does that count? Now, was that evil Ty? Because later on in the episode is when we see evil Ty directly talking to nice Ty, and nice Ty saying, please let me in. And she says, no, because you don't have what it takes or what needs to be done in order to make it happen. Now, if that's the case, could we say that this good Ty was not willing to do the smothering, and now evil Ty has taken it over? It could go that way, or it was that evil Ty all alone. You let me know in the comment section what you think. But Van is basically got to go to hospice from what they're saying. We'll see if that sacrifice, that kind of sacrifice that they tried to pull off for her, actually works and she can get out of it with that. Mitzi does figure out a couple of things. Number one, she figures out that Shauna was with Jeff. They were at the nursing home with her the whole time. So that really takes Shauna off the table of killing Lottie. In the end, I think it's going to be Callie that killed Lottie in the end. We'll do a whole video about my theories about what's going to happen in the next upcoming videos. In a day or so, I'll drop everything that I think that was there. But truly, not too much got in this hospital. Everything happened with Shauna's scene and in the wilderness. This was a little bit more fillery, but something that had to be shown to progress the show. Overall, another great episode of the Yellowjackets. I think that, listen, they have hit their stride. As I said in previous videos, they figured out what they wanted to be, and now they're going for it. I hope this ends great. We got 2 episodes left. I really hope it ends great this season, and I think it's gonna. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that thumbs up. I'll be on the live stream again with Phil the Issues Guy on Tuesday as always. So make sure you hit that live stream. Come through. All right, come through. We need to have you there. It's a great, great time. And maybe I'll live stream a little bit earlier before that this weekend. We'll see how it all pans out. But in the end, if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.